I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. The body of Kingston jeweler Anita Jacobs-Royer was found inside her 3rd Avenue home back on February 3rd, 2012. A bootlace was tightly wound around her neck. Police would say DNA from the bootlace linked Audelis Cruz to the strangulation killing. And now an Ulster County court jury's returned a guilty verdict against the 49-year-old town of Ulster resident. Jury determined Cruz was guilty of the second-degree murder charge. Prosecutors had theorized that Cruz had come to Jacobs-Royer's home in search of cash. Cruz could face up to life in prison when he's sentenced December 9th. He had 2 prior violent felony convictions and was on parole for a robbery at the time of the murder. Since 2004, 19 women have been killed by their intimate partners in Orange County. They and others victimized by domestic violence are remembered in the words written by victims and loved ones on T-shirts that are a part of the Clothesline Project, on display today inside the Resource and Business Center on Broadway in Newburgh. The project's sponsored by Orange County Safe Homes to honor those lost and to recognize the courage of the victims.
I think it's really bittersweet this year. Every year we do this, we hope that we don't have to add another name. And unfortunately, since we were here 12 months ago, we've added 3 more names to the women murdered in this county. And 3 names are too many. It's unacceptable that we're still having to add T-shirts to the line of women murdered in Orange County at the hands of their intimate partner. And there's more that needs to be done until women stop dying and until women stop needing the resources of safe homes and agencies like ours. We have to continue to work collaboratively and collectively to addressing domestic violence and sexual violence, not only in this county, but in every community throughout the United States.
The Clothesline Project is part of a series of programs recognizing October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Last year, Safe Homes in Orange County answered more than 3,800 domestic violence hotline calls and worked with more than 3,500 victims. The government shutdown entered its 2nd week with no end in sight, pushing hundreds of thousands of workers off the job, closing national parks and government services. At the Otisville Federal Prison, corrections officers are on the job, but they're not getting paid. Don Druitt, the president of Union Local 386, says the shutdown's just the latest chapter for those who work in correctional facilities that are underfunded, understaffed, and overcrowded.
We've now walked into a political football game where we are the ball, and now we are part of a government shutdown, and all of the staff's morale is basically wondering what is going to happen tomorrow. There seems to be bad news around every single corner. When you come in and work on a federal prison on a day-to-day basis, the threat of being hurt or killed is always present. Now you're doing it under the threat of not being paid for quite a while. And that's a tough thing to deal with.
And Druitt says the lack of paychecks is yet another blow to the morale of the rank and file, already rocked by the killings of fellow federal corrections officers.
You know, they're sick and tired of this being a matter of dollars and cents. It's a matter of life and death. You know, we go in on a day-to-day basis, we do our job, and we've lived up to our end of the bargain. Why can't they? You know, and it's just it's a tough situation and tough times.
Those who remain at home or are working without paychecks, like the Otisville Federal Prison employees, are a step closer to getting back pay once the partial government shutdown ends. The Senate could act this week on the back pay measure that passed the House unanimously on Saturday. It was a close encounter of the accident kind in Westtown Saturday night, as a Village of Florida man drove his pickup truck into a vacant antique shop. State police say 29-year-old Christopher Seguro has since been charged with driving while intoxicated. A breathalyzer determined Seguro's blood alcohol content was almost 4 times the legal limit. Seguro was not seriously hurt. The antique shop, which was not open to the public, is located at the corner of Route 284 and County Route 1. Building inspector was called in an attempt to determine the stability of the structure. They worked on the demolition of 2 buildings in Monticello last week. Now the 6 workmen have been charged with the illegal dumping of the construction debris. A company run by Marciano Mike Soto removed debris left from the demolition of an unsafe building on Broadway and from the old Village Justice Court building. Soto and 5 others are accused of trucking the debris to a site behind the Burnwell Propane Company off Fairground Road and illegally dumping it there. It was called a strategy session, the meeting in Pine Bush Sunday, featuring opponents of a proposed private school for girls, now on the drawing board for downtown Bloomingburg. Members of the group's Rural Community Coalition and concerned citizens of Pine Bush have been rallying opposition, and they've been making their voices heard during recent meetings involving the proposed school that would serve developer Shalom Lamb's as yet unbuilt development of 396 townhouses. Residents say their opposition is not religious-based. They say the development, which they say would be Hasidic, would impact local tax rates, property values, and alter the rural character of the area. Their goal, to get the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision overturned and end abortion. And members of several area churches took part in the annual National Pro-Life Life Chain demonstration on Sunday along sections of Route 211 in the town of Wallkill. Organizers say it's their way of speaking out in behalf of the unborn and to rally support for an end to abortion.
All human life is sacred, and we're living in a world today where it's a culture of death, and we want to change that to a culture of life. The unborn child does not have a voice, and we have to speak for them.
Last year, more than 1,500 cities and towns held life chain events throughout the United States. And history came alive in the city of Kingston over the weekend as a local Revolutionary War event played out before hundreds of onlookers and history buffs. Saturday, reenactors commemorated the October 16, 1777 burning of Kingston by British troops. That they arrived to destroy Kingston for supporting revolutionary soldiers back then. The mock British troop invasion was part of 3 days of commemorative events that are held every 2 years. The weekend also included demonstrations of military camp life and tours of Kingston's Old Dutch Church. Heavy rain and gusty winds were expected through this evening, and a tornado watch was also posted in the Hudson Valley until 5 p.m. Once the nasty weather moves through, we'll be left with a couple of days of nice October weather. It'll be mostly sunny Tuesday with the highs tomorrow up around 70 degrees, and temperatures Wednesday are expected to reach the upper 60s under a partly sunny sky. Stay informed by starting your day with the Times-Herald Record, and stay connected to breaking news throughout the day right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.